Hey guys, NTU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the X-Men Nemesis Build-A-Figure Wave. We've got Husk from Generation X. This is Cannonball's sister, Paige Guthrie, I think is her name. She can peel her skin off. Interesting. I'm not real familiar with the character, but she does resemble the Monet St. Croix figure that we got, M. Because of Generation X, but I don't think the figures are exactly one-to-one the same, so we will do a comparison between the two to see kind of what the similarities are, what the differences are. There she's got a flab of skin that she comes with, and she's got the additional head sculpt, which is cool, but she's got the big-ass Nemesis Build-A-Figure torso piece in there that is really weighing this box down. So a heads up, I got my way from toysnowman.com, link in the video description below. Make sure to check them out. Everything in terms of action figures, all that you might be looking for. They're based in Canada. They have all the good stuff, not just the Hasbro stuff, but they got the import stuff, Mezco, Figure Arts, Joy Toy, all McFarlane, all that stuff. Head over to toysnowman.com if you're looking to get it. The link is in my video description below. It is my referral link. If you use that link and create an account for the first time, so new accounts only, get a 5% off coupon code there. I'd have to double check because I'm recording these videos a little bit ahead of time, so I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Husk may or may not be available to order still at the time. I believe Toy Snowman is expecting another batch of these soon. Wolverine was in stock when I started to review these, but he has since sold out. Some of the figures were still available to pre-order, and I think Nightcrawler was, Cyclops was, and I think Husk was, whereas the other ones I know were sold out. But again, I've recorded this a little bit early in advance, so please make sure to check out toysnowman.com for the latest on that. Getting back to Husk, we got the X-Men logo there. It says Nemesis Build-A-Figure there. We get the side artwork of Paige Husk there. It looks like she's kind of pulling off her skin there. What's going on? Same artwork on the side, same artwork on the back. The bio reads, Paige Guthrie, a mutant with the ability to morph her skin into any form, becomes a member of the X-Men known as Husk. So I think she has to peel her skin off to be able to do the morphing thing. I'm going to look that up to kind of make sure I'm giving you guys the right information there. This review is probably going to be pretty quick. Not a whole lot going on here. I don't really know who else to kind of compare her to other than M here. I did not get Cannonball out because honestly I have a pile of figures and I didn't see where he was, so I didn't grab it. And it's getting late that I'm reviewing these, so we're going to kind of move along. All the figures here, she is here on the 6th figure. It's number 5, but we looked at Wolverine first. So next up will be Fabian Cortez, and then we'll take a look at Nemesis there. But let's go ahead, get into it. Let's get Husk out of the package and check out her figure and the Nemesis torso. Okay, here is Husk out of the package, and so she removes a layer of skin or husk of skin. And then her underneath, whatever, it can kind of, she can morph it into whatever, like, material type of thing. So I guess here in this particular example, she's morphed her skin into metal, I guess it would be. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is not that fun of a figure. I don't know that the M. Monet St. Croix figure was all that fun either, but the way her hair is, Husk's hair is, it's extremely limiting. Like this head sculpt, you really can't do anything with it. Like you could kind of do that. I guess that, could be kind of cool. She's like, screaming, I just ripped all this skin off my face type of thing. But there's not a whole lot else you could do with it. And to be honest with you, it was kind of a pain in the ass to kind of get on. It was kind of weird. But the figure, it's cool. I mean, I think a lot of times, with some figures, it's about, hey, we finally got this particular character that I'm a fan of, so we get that. But this is one where, there's not a whole lot to the figure, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's take a closer look. This head sculpt is really nice. It's just that hair that really gets in the way. We get a couple of pieces when it comes to Nemesis. We've got I guess this will be kind of the helmet piece. So it looks like you would port this in there, but I think maybe you have to put the helmet on or whatever. I'll kind of have to look at that and kind of what we got going on. But this is the torso piece, and we do get that skeleton head in there. It may be able to pop off, but that neck piece, spine piece in there is very thin. I don't want to break it or anything. I want to be very careful with it. It does have an articulated jaw. But again, I do want to be very, very careful with it. So when we do the Build-A-Figure review, we'll take a closer look at that. So for now, that is all going to go off to the side so we can take a look at that in its own video. So here with Husk, we're going to get into it. She has that alternate head sculpt, right? There's the two. You get that little layer of skin that you can rip off. And then she's got an extra set of hands. So she's got a pair of fists and a pair of grip open hands there. Okay, so here is the Husk figure out of the package, and again, this looks pretty good. The silver on there is 100% paint. They didn't sculpt the line work in there to kind of differentiate the layer of skin or anything like that. It's just silver paint applied right on there, and it's a very nice metallic silver on there, like a good-looking chrome silver that we never see on any kind of sword or anything like that. That's how good that silver paint is on there. It's like special use here that we won't ever even put on a sword or knife. So that looks really good. It's got a screaming look to it, so you can see the teeth in there. Again, really nice head sculpt. The hair itself looks pretty good. You can see it's kind of blowing out there. Nice little shading in it to kind of bring out the details of the hair. So that looks really good. But I had mentioned it was kind of a pain in the ass to put on, and I don't know what it is about it, but see how the hair just like curves back in? So because of that, it's like, you can't, like, you gotta like do this, but then it's hard to do. I might be overthinking it, but it just, oh yeah, I guess I was just overthinking it. It just seemed weird at first. You know, it took me a little bit longer than I care to admit when putting it on the first time. So it seemed kind of weird, but as I could see that I just made it more difficult than it really needed to be. But anyway, screw this head. We're going to pop that one off. We're going to pop on the regular one here. And this one looks pretty good too, as you can see there. It's just the hair is just kind of down. Not too bad. Obviously, this one is the better head sculpt because it kind of shows her power set there. And, you know, she's screaming there. So that does look good. But this one's cool too. You get that kind of same shading in the hair to kind of bring out the details. Not a whole lot in terms of paint of this figure. You get, you know, gold for the zipper there in the front. But otherwise, these gauntlet pieces have a little X logo there. We get this blue X there in the front. And then just kind of gold for the boots. That is not anything new. It's just kind of like an overlay. It goes over her legs. There, if I do the comparison between the two, they do have different torsos. So as you can see, one has, they are just different torsos. So Monet M has larger features than Husk has. But other than that, I think the figures are the same. Looks like we get the same boots and stuff, but we don't have the same golds. I'm trying to, how best to describe it. Husk's gold looks a little bit more yellow, whereas Monet's gold is more of an orange hue to it, if that makes sense. So looking at them side by side, you can see a difference. I'm not sure how well it's coming out on camera. The reds are a little bit different, whereas M's was a little bit shinier, whereas Husk's is definitely a little bit more flat. Flat. Anyway, that's the difference between the two. Otherwise, they're essentially the same figure. So just that upper torso is different, and then, you know, obviously different head sculpts and whatnot. So basically the same figures. It looks like size-wise, I'm gonna have to straighten out their feet and everything to kind of see, you know, size comparison-wise, if Husk is really that much taller than M. That looks a bit weird. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Mainly this husk of skin that she can rip off. So that's kind of gross there. You get that little hole in there, which I think works for the grip. So you can actually do it to where you put like a finger through it, so she's really gripping onto it, or put the thumb through it, if that's kind of how you want to do it and she's holding it. So you do something like that. So that is cool. Again, really cool concept that's what they, you know, that's, you know, the accessory that she comes with. It's a little gross, but, you know, that works. But now let's go ahead and get to the articulation. Okay, so Husk's articulation, it's going to be difficult. The head, she can look down somewhat. She's not going to be able to look up because of the long hair. It's just not going to happen. You can turn the head a little bit, but just like both of them, the hair is really sculpted to kind of drape over her shoulder, so it's going to be very limited in that sense there. The arm you can get to go straight on out. You get a full rotation in that arm. That shoulder pad can move with the shoulder. It is a separate piece keyed in there, so that is cool. You get the upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbow double jointed elbow gives you that much bend there. The gauntlet piece also is just another piece that's kind of over the arm there. Wrists swivel and they do hinge. This gauntlet does make it a little bit difficult to get that hinge going there, but the grip hands and the fists both have the standard horizontal hinge. She's got a diaphragm cut on there, so she can tilt well to her left. She can tilt well to her right as well. Also, she can go back a little bit, not a huge amount, and then coming forward is an extremely tiny amount there. You get a swivel at that diaphragm, which is good. Legs go out that far apart. She can kick forward very far, as you can see there. The leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee, and the knee pad does look weird because that knee pad is just part of this boot, which is just like this overlay over the leg, and not actually a sculpted leg, which is again kind of weird. Foot hinges down, you get some hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. One thing that's interesting is at the ankle they did paint it so you can see gold as opposed to red, and I'm trying to think, did Monet get that same treatment? She did as well, so at least they did that. So that is pretty good. So there we go with Husk. Now let's see proper side-by-side comparison of Husk and Monet. Let me just make sure to get them all aligned up. Okay, so the proper side-by-side, it looks like they are just about the same height. Again, the only real difference is going to be in the torso, and the torsos likely have kind of the same height, so it's not that one is taller than the other, which initially kind of looked like was going to be the case, but they are the same height, which is good. Okay, so here we have the wave. So far, you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of Husk? Is it finally, we've got the Husk figure, the character has been released? Would you have preferred a different look as opposed to the Generation X look? Would you, I mean, other accessories would have been cool, like if it had another head sculpt, or instead of silver metal underneath, maybe it was like a stone texture or something, or maybe like a hand be a different texture. That would have been cool. But you guys give me your thoughts on Husk down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of this wave so far. Yeah, give me your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to check out toysnowman.com for your action figure needs. Link in the video description below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.